So people, if you are suffering because of the system, please come up and let us know what your story is. This isn't my mic, this isn't anyone's mic, this is everyone's mic. We call it the Dyke mic, but that's just my personal choice. So, this little truck has started its journey at the Take Back the Dyke, so it's very special to me. So please come up, use the mic. If you want to sing, if you want to do poetry, if you want to tell your story, just come up. Share your story with everyone here. Get your voice heard. The media is here today. Let them hear what you've got to say and make your voice heard. Thank you, sir. You're on.
Y'all need to get up off your ass and start helping each other.
Yeah!
You stop this chemical rap city you call life. Start paying attention to your heart instead of your brain most of the time. And then one day maybe, just maybe.
Corporations that got bailed out, right? Yeah. So where's our bailout?
I'm a dad of 3 kids. I almost died from a pharmaceutical product. I turned them in and blew the whistle. Health Canada, Canadian Pension, and the Ministry of Labour and the WSIB is forcing my children to live on $400 a month. If you don't have food, you don't got jack. If you don't have a house, you don't got jack. If you don't have love, you don't have jack. We got jack.
In Toronto, Quebec, that were robbed of our pension of 35.4% from a company known as Brookfield Asset Management that used to control Treasury Paper Company. They went on a bankruptcy protection and they threw the pension plan out of it. The same company controlled a lot of buildings in Toronto. That is Brookfield. They are everywhere in the United States and Canada. So those people make money on our money. So we are here to protest against Brookfield. Thank you very much.
For 99%, we are the majority. When we control production, we will bring equality. This is not just about greed. It's about the very nature of a system that has failed to provide. It's about capitalism, and moreover, it's about imperialism. When we control production, we will bring true equality, true freedom for the majority, for the 99%, for us. Brothers and sisters, we must take control. And if we don't, they will keep it. Believe me.
They'll make us slaves.
If we don't bring our own democracy, we will have none.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I'm John the Engineer with the new Pauper Party. And I want to tell you about the Argentine solution. In 2001, Argentina was broke. In 2006, all their foreign debt paid off. How'd they do that? Well, the union said, you're not going to lay us off. We'll take small denomination provincial bonds we can use to pay our hydro, taxes, medical, and license fees. Everybody took the new bond currency. All the unions kept full employment, hired more people. Everybody worked and they paid off their debts. You can't settle your debts without working them off, and you can't have a job without paychecks. And if Argentina can create paychecks to pay their people with small denomination bonds everybody can take, we can do it too. So go YouTube, Pauper Party, and see my videos on the Argentine solution. Jobs for everybody too.
We're living in poverty. We're living on fixed incomes. We're trying our best to give our kids clothes and food and transportation. As the cost of living continues to rise, we are struggling in poverty. It's time we stop taxing the poor and feeding the rich. It's time that we reminded our corporations and governments that we are the 99% and the power is with the people. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Irene. I'm an old-timer. And I just wanted to say that I am fed up with the kleptocracy, and I'm waiting for democracy.
Hello.
Capitalism sucks! Capitalism sucks!
Hi. Everybody, power to the people! Power to the people! Power! Okay, I'll stop. I just wanted to do that. No. The reason I'm here actually is because the gap, can you hear me? The gap between the average income of the 1% and the average income of the 99% is more than about $350,000. Okay? Shame. Now just keep this in mind. So, over the past 30 years, the average income of the 99% over the past 30 years has gone up just 10%. That hasn't even kept up with inflation. Okay? Now, the average wage of the 1% has gone up 182%. Okay? Shame. Moreover, the average wage of the 1% in Canada is $404,500. Okay? The average average wage of the 99% is $37,000. The average wage in Canada of the 99% is $37 goddamn thousand versus $404,500. Shame. All right? Now that is our money. Okay. We are here, even though our banks did not get bailed out to the same extent as the United States banks. Okay. But in this globalized world, our economies are inextricably linked, and our Americans are our fucking brothers, okay? And I don't care if I just swore, I'm sorry, but...
No, that's okay.
Okay? Thank you. But, I want to present you with an alternative that should have happened, actually, okay? When the private central bank of the United States took its money, took the American people's money, okay? I'm speaking on behalf of the Americans right now. When the private central bank of the United States took taxpayers' money to bail out the banks and let the homeowners go and just let them starve, they committed probably the most egregious violation and treason, or just egregious fraud in the history of mankind. It was pure theft. What they could have done, and this is an alternative that I think that people might want to consider, because I've not once ever heard it spoken in the media. Why did, and why can they not, and why could they have not, taken the money that went to the banks and given it directly to homeowners to pay off their mortgages? Now, the banks...
No one knows who owns the debt.
The banks, it's true. No one, okay, it's true. That's a good point. We have a media person that just brought up the point that nobody knows who owns the debt. What happened was that, of course, mortgages were pooled together and sold, right, as a mortgage-backed security, right? So then there were so many millions of these mortgage-backed securities that were sold that it was hard to track. However, the United States government could have given the money to the homeowners that were struggling due to these, so whoever received one of these fraudulent subprime loans, so that they could have then paid back the investment firms and the mortgage companies, okay? And then these homeowners could have kept their homes and they would have maintained liquidity. And the government could have kept on operating. But what is planned, and I believe that what is planned is that they are going to introduce, and many of you know this, a new world reserve currency. They are planning for the United States economy to implode, basically, okay? So that they can have the opportunity to have a new world reserve currency. If you can make a country go so far into debt that it becomes unaffordable to even purchase their treasury bonds, okay? They're going to start printing money, and that is going to lead to hyperinflation, or at least some sort of inflation. And eventually, they're going to have to want to restructure their currency, right? Now, if the private central banks that control most of the states of the world unified one currency, every single transaction would be below, all right, or under the power of that one private central bank that would then control the currencies of not just hundreds of millions, but billions of people, right? That's global domination. Now, keep in mind this date, December 22nd, 2013. Do you guys know what date this is? It's the end of the Federal Reserve, is when their charter status ends and all U.S. currency will become paper. No more fiat currency. The United States dollar, just beware of this, is going to implode by December 22nd, 2013. Its 100-year lease or charter status will end. Thank you. But, so, it's, we're going to end up, honestly, I really hope to God we don't go to war with Iran or something like we've been seeing in the media, but this is what they've always done. Anytime there's been an economic collapse, they've used that as a means. Do not allow war with Iran. Do not allow war to spread. They are using war. Okay? They are... Why do they always send the poor to war? Why is it always the poor that are arrested and beat by the cops? Why is it never the bankers that are arrested? Why is it, why are we going to war to fund, to fund the interest payments to private central banks, for fuck's sake? Seriously. Seriously. Why are we not standing up? Why is the silent majority still silent? Why are we still silent? We must listen. We must coalesce. We are a free people and we are not slaves, and we must not allow them to send us to war to gain their interests. They do not. We must stand up. We must listen, okay? We must turn this into the polar opposite, the antithesis of the Tea Party movement, man. We have got to coalesce, and we must become the 99% movement, man. We have got to come, the Occupy movement, whatever, We are the 99%. 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 We are the 99%, and we won't take no more shit.
Well, forever and ever, we want to change the world. Okay, we are the 99%. We are the 99%. Can I hear you? We want to change the world. Who are we? We are the 99%. We want to change the world. We are the 99%. And we're going to change this world forever and ever. We're going to change the world. And we must remember that the people united will never be defeated. 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 Ain't no power like the power of the people.